There it goes.
There it is.
Robin Slim Show.
This is Travis.
Travis
Hey,
Waters,
Travis.
how you doing?
Good, man. What's happening?
Just coming back from our summer break. How's your summer been, dude?
Good. Glad school's starting back.
Nice.
Going crazy with all these states wanting my book in the centers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can imagine sales are up. Travis Waters, the Westcoast Kid, dude, the book was phenomenal, man. So
I'm
good.
glad you read it.
Yes, I
Yeah.
read it. Slim read it, and
Slambo listened to me babble about it for 2 weeks.
yeah,
you read it.
our intern, yeah.
You read it to me.
I hear that a lot.
Dude, I told so many people at work
Oh.
about it that wanted to check it out. My one buddy Mike, I passed him along a copy, and he didn't get to read it at first, and then like out of the blue, he just read like half of it in one night, and he said he couldn't stop.
Yeah, it's hard to put down, I hear.
Dude.
It was a conversation thing for me for weeks, and like it was one of the things where I'd start telling one person about some of the things you went through, and other people would start like listening in and start coming closer and listening. It's really cool.
Yeah, I
man.
know. It's crazy, huh?
There was a couple chapters. One, I just could not. I had to put it down for the night. I couldn't finish reading the chapter. I was just sweating,
There was a
and my
few
mouth
rough
was like
ones,
open.
yeah.
Like I was like, wow.
When I talked to you guys before on the first show I did with you guys, it was like, there's so much to talk about. You guys got to read the book and you'll see,
Yeah, dude.
I can't explain everything to you. You just have to read it.
And then, like,
Because
I
it's
felt
so-
like at the
it covers
beginning,
everything.
when you were living large, I'm like, I feel like I don't want this part to end. You're doing so good. And then,
Yeah,
like,
right.
then it just went to the one part, like, when what was the last prison you were in? Apalachicola?
The state, the first one, the first state prison I went to was Apalachicola.
That was the
When I left
first
federal
one.
prison.
That
When I
one
left
was
federal
crazy.
prison. The state prison, yeah.
Was that the one?
That's when the nightmares all started.
Yeah, the last one, like the loony bin / like.
That Supermax prison, like what the fuck, man? The fact
I
that
wrote that. I wrote that too from my own. I didn't have a ghostwriter. I wrote it all myself because no one could. I can't convey the smells, the scenery to anybody like I could write it on paper. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking to you. A lot of people read that book felt like they were in the jail with me on some of those scenes because I described the dripping faucets, the smell.
That's what I was going to say. The faucet, the one where the sink,
Huh?
the one with the faucet that only dripped, where you couldn't get any water, you weren't getting no food. Like I was like, oh my god.
Oh, that was
Paint spilling off
terrible.
the walls. I
Yeah.
described everything.
Yeah, dude.
I wanted to bring you into it.
I was-
my world.
It was great though, seeing like you were at the top of the beginning, then you were at your lowest point, but then at the end it brings you back, and like you met your
Well, all
wife.
those dreams came true at the end. If you notice the book, I wrote it from the beginning to the end, and I wrote it that way so that kids can see it, because you're going to go through all that fun times, all the girls, all the toys, all the money, but it's up to you. After you read that book, was it worth it at the end, what you go through? That's your decision. You make. I don't preach to the kids. You read that book, and you got to make that decision. Was it worth it at the end? That's up to you. A lot of those dreams came true, about me coaching, that came true. Making it out alive came true. Just a lot of giving back to the kids came true in my life, and signing autographs and stuff.
You just paid a hefty price.
My life came true.
Spending your
Stuff
20s
like
in jail was but then seeing you at the end.
My whole 20s was gone. My whole 20s.
Yeah, with Dion's mom, that part was great when I think she said to you, that she had to talk him out of so much stupid stuff, when he was younger.
Yeah, she's a big fan. She's a big fan, Dion's mom.
Dude, that's
She's a big
awesome.
fan of the book.
When you got the ball signed for your coach, when you sent it
for
to
Coach Stewart, my legend, all
everyone
all
on your
kids
team?
signed it. All the country that I sent it to.
Yeah, dude, the end was great.
One of the things I was thinking about reading, and especially in the beginning, and how well you did in the drug trade, I'm like, man, you're so capable,
dude,
and all that ability just wasted. Like it's gotta suck when you think back to that.
I was thinking too, did anybody ever try to get in touch with you from the drug days, like, and try to get more stuff set up?
What's that?
Did anyone from like your drug days ever try to get you like in again to the drug game?
Yeah. I wrote that when I came home. A lot of they wanted to do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I met more connections inside when I was in prison.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of the more dreams came true in that book because I wanted to be the school's best player to ever walk through those front doors. I wanted to hold the records, and I still hold the records. And you got to remember, my coach became a legend, and he had #1 ranked teams in the state of Florida sometimes through his career. So I thought my record would never stand there. With me only being a 6'3" white kid in high school, I was 6'5". I grew 2 inches to 6'5", but I never thought those dreams would come true, and they did. So it was very exciting.
from the beginning
and
with
hold
your
the records and stuff, everything.
with your father too. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like.
Yep, my real father. Yeah,
Have
he's
you
still
ever
alive.
heard from him?
Yes, he come and saw me when I was in federal prison.
Wow. How was it? Was it? Did you want anything to do with him or?
I haven't since then really, because I when I go speak around these places and these schools and these centers and stuff like that, the kids think I should get back with them, and it's hard for me to forgive him. It's hard for me to forgive him. He's not, he's never apologized to me. I just pointed that out a while back to myself.
That's
He's never
how
apologized to me.
my own father with his father is. Like, they get along now, but when my dad was younger, my grandfather was an alcoholic and he beat him, and like that's the thing. They're okay now, but like you said, he's never apologized to him for
He's
it.
never apologized.
And I know it still bothers
Works for my
him.
mother. I'm at my mother's place right now, actually, doing an interview.
That's also. I was going to ask if she was still in your life, because she was an amazing person in your life.
Yeah, I take care of. She's my stepfather passed away,
Oh,
and my mom's on her own and all that. So I help her with her stuff.
cool.
Yeah, and the business, he sold his company
Oh.
before he passed away.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I know you said he had a great company and all that, and
Yep.
I love too when
Great
you talked
stuff,
about. I'm sorry, Travis.
Go ahead.
I loved when you talked about how when you
like-
got out, when you were going into society, when you were getting your house back in order and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that
Right.
part of the book
cool.
too.
Yeah.
We're like super
It's,
excited
it's
fanboys
amazing.
right now.
Yeah, yeah.
They're doing the movie about it, right?
That's what I was going to
Oh,
mention
wow,
too,
that's awesome.
because I took my kids
Yeah.
to see Independence Day, and we started seeing a preview for a drug movie that had to do with Juan Pablo, and I'm like, oh my God, is
Yeah,
this
you're
the
talking
movie?
about the infiltrator.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Laundering money. Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
saw
yours.
it.
And my son Ewan leans in, and dude, he's 8 years old, and he's like, "Daddy, can we see that?" And I'm like, "No, we can't see that."
No.
When is your movie coming out?
Well, the script will be ready in 2 or 3 weeks. I just actually got through with an email with my writer-director, and the script will be ready in 2 weeks.
That's cool.
And then from there it goes to producers, and then whoever we decide to go with.
Are you gonna sit in through the creative process, like to make sure everything is accurate and all that?
Well,
or?
I'm helping with the writing. I have my input because he did the script, and I have my input on the script and all that because he's adapting it to the screenplay. It's a Hollywood writer. His name's Jack Snyder. He actually just wrote Atomic Shark that just came out on Sci-Fi. The Atomic Shark. He co-wrote that. I was just on Sci-Fi Channel. Just came out like a couple weeks ago.
Cool, man.
He's the writer of the Westcoast Kid. Yep. And Cold Moon that came out with Griff First. That's coming out. The great Michael McDonald wrote the book. They just wrote that into a movie. It's just going to be released. It's finished. The movie's finished. Yep.
So I got a question, and Rob kind of, I guess, touched on it a little bit already. Do you know whatever happened to any of the other guys who you were involved with, like your buddy Ralph or Hog Daddy, or even
Hog Daddy died. He had a heart attack.
Oh wow, in prison or?
I said he'd be lucky if he made it to 50, and he finally did. He made it to 50, and he had a heart attack and died.
Wow.
Ralph is still alive. The other guy, Greg, in the book, he's still alive.
Are these guys that
part
you're
of my-
friends with?
He's part of
or-
my family. He's my family.
Oh wow,
Oh.
okay.
And Ralph was my family too.
Oh okay, right.
I was gonna ask
So I
as well
changed their names.
if you've ever been in contact with like Psycho or Bad Dog, because they were pretty cool guys in the book to you. Like I know they were in the prison, but I didn't know if you ever had correspondence with any of them since you've been out.
A lot of those guys. A lot of the. You mean the guys in prison I was with?
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, like Psycho or Bad Dog.
No, I haven't. No.
That whole scene with Psycho I had to reread that one part. Do you know what I'm
Right.
talking about?
Psycho,
When
yeah.
when it like jumped.
remember.
When he jumped to the working out with Psycho, and then he jumped
Oh
to like
Yep.
yeah, Psycho was the guy that
that
pretty much saved
him.
your
Yeah,
life.
but I had to
Yeah.
reread that. I'm like, what is
Well,
going
no,
on
Psycho didn't. Psycho actually took up for me. He protected me actually.
Yeah.
That guy was in there for like 4 or 5 murders.
here? Yeah, he had done some crazy
He killed
shit.
people with like a
Actually
hammer or
he
something,
actually
right?
helped save me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
that's
helped
cool.
save your life. Exactly. That was really cool that he did that.
Yeah,
But
because he told them to stop.
Yeah.
'cause they were trying to kill me.
that's the part I had the problem with. I hate anything that has to do with like head trauma or
Oh,
anything.
really?
Like that
Oh,
shit
yeah.
really bothers me, and I couldn't continue reading that part.
What really got me, I think, was when they were starving him. When they were starving you in the one state prison
was
you were
Atlanta
in, and they were.
Atlanta Penitentiary.
That was rough. Yeah, that was a
That's
rough
so
part.
What does
shitty,
it
man.
like? I know this is like maybe an intense question, but for the head trauma part, like what is that like? Like when somebody.
You didn't remember any of it at first, right,
Yeah,
Travis?
when I woke up, I didn't know who I was. Remember?
Yeah.
They had to bring me they brought me my prison ID to tell me who I was.
So there was just.
And then I hardly couldn't walk or do anything after that because I had like my limbs hardly wouldn't work. My neurological system, whatever, was like messed up, and it's like I couldn't hardly walk or do anything. I couldn't hardly talk.
Yeah.
They tried to kill me. Actually, that's what I was told.
Yeah, and they said one more time it would have been. It would have been.
insane.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, I think
Because
so.
I remembered that part, like.
All because of sports.
Yeah.
That was the thing. It was a curse in the prison as well. Yeah, like they found out he could play, and then they were like, "You play for us, or we're gonna fuck you up."
Yeah.
Like, and,
Yeah, I that's the contract I had. I tell a lot of kids in these places, I said, yeah, my contract was my life. It wasn't $50 million, $35 million like Dion had. It was my life.
No, what?
And then I would still get beat up. If we won, I'd still get beat up.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, what the fuck made you decide not to, like, heed that dude's warning, right? The one black guy who was like, hey, you play for us or you're going to get gang raped and then I'm going to stab you. And you were like, eh.
I did play. I did.
But at
play.
first you didn't.
at first
you were just
yeah,
like, no.
the first time I didn't play. Well, I don't know. I thought it'd be best to stay away from that.
just stay out of it.
Wasn't
Yeah,
what it was.
that's what I would have tried to do too. But
I
yeah,
tried
then
to
it
stay
was
out of
like,
it. I didn't even want them to know who I was when
That's-
I went there because if you remember, one of the guys that was with me snitched me out.
Yeah, one of the original
That
people
guy
he was
was
in the
Marsh.
other prison
That guy
with.
played. He's a rival of Dion. He's one of the best players and stuff. And that's when it all started. I said, man, you should have told them that.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Holy.
And then me being a white kid too, speed. I got bigger, faster, and stronger. And throw a football 55 yards in one step in the air, a 35-inch vertical, 4.35 40, and it was just, I cried a lot about that. My God-given talent. I really did. I was upset inside big time.
Yeah.
Because
When-
I wasn't that. I was not bad in high school. I'm not going to say that I wasn't, but I got bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, you said you were at your prime in federal.
Yeah.
Like the federal
Exactly.
prison was cool too. Like
grew
it wasn't
connection.
great, but it was okay. Federal prison like that. That was a decent place at least. Like
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Had you ever been in contact with, like, that one federal agent that pretty much fucked you over?
oh
What's his-
They're in. Last I heard of those guys, they were up in Washington. They boosted their careers, and they were in Washington.
Oh,
wow.
A
Yeah.
lot of the guys, some of the agents are dead, and a lot of the Colombians and all that. They're a lot of those guys, the Cubans over there. A lot of them have died. A lot of some of them are in protective custody. Last I heard, some of them have been killed. So it's like, because you got to remember, you're talking 30, 35 years ago, whatever it was, and a lot of those guys back then were 45 and 50 years old, 55 years old.
That part where the agents started like following you and all, that was crazy too, man. Like taking pictures of
And
you.
then the CIA that was hiding in the background.
Yeah.
The CIA was on.
This is something that made me really cringe. I just thought about it. Is when
You gonna watch the movie?
what's that?
You guys gonna watch the movie?
Oh,
Yeah,
no doubt,
dude.
man, definitely.
Yes.
But I wanted to say something real quick. Something that really made me cringe when I was reading it was when the Colombians had kidnapped you, and they brought you to this Oriental guy, and just the thought of getting my fingernails like a hole drilled. I couldn't even imagine like what
I
was
forgot
going
about
through
it.
your mind when this guy's holding a drill and saying we're gonna drill holes in your fingernails.
I was puking on the way over there. I was already hyperventilating and puking over the way with the sack thing over my head.
That was
And,
also right after you were on the plane too, right? They were like dangling you out of the
Oh
plane.
yeah, they were gonna
throw me out of the
throw
plane.
you out of the
They
plane.
stuck a gun to the back of my head and said, "You're going swimming." And that's when I said, "I'll get the load back." My legs were hanging out of the plane and everything. Yep. And I knew we were in trouble. But
Yeah.
and I didn't steal the load. It was our load. I didn't steal it.
Yeah.
And that's what really
That
upset
other
me.
guy pissed me off too. The other captain or whatever that was like, I don't.
Oh yeah.
Was
Yeah.
he in on it?
Oh, the
one
alcohol.
captain at one of the
the,
parties
like,
the whole time. At
Yeah.
the hotel.
Yeah.
And they wanted to break his legs in front of me, and I told them no, and they stuck the gun to me again.
Yeah.
And said, "You're going to watch." I said, "I'm not going to watch any of that."
When you said too, they stuffed the toilet full of towels and
yeah,
all
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
to make sure you didn't flush a bug if you were wearing one. Like it was.
Yeah,
just,
that's everything. It was, it's like that's why I wanted you guys to read the book because I couldn't. You have to just read it and then we'd do an interview because there's so much in there that you guys would would see interesting and stuff. And that's why I'm glad you guys read it.
Do your kids know your whole story?
Yeah, my son just started high school freshman. Yeah, they
Okay.
know, but they never read the book, or my daughter. She's only 10.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure how old they were. What's that?
My one son Nicholas, he died.
Yeah, I cried during that part of the book. I cried during
I blame that on my past. More punishment for me.
Dude, that was so sad.
Yeah, I felt for you. Yeah, I remember reading that, and you were punching the walls and stuff. Like, yeah, man, that fucking that sucks.
Yeah, he looked just like us. Looked just like me and Travis Jr.
Yeah, but you said as well, at the same time, he lived long enough for your daughter to be able to live.
He'd lived long enough for Olivia to be alive. That's true.
That was cool.
That's one thing I told my wife.
Yeah. Wow.
You
lived a life, man. You lived a life most people don't even dream of. Like, not that you would dream of that, but like you've gone through so much. But I'm so happy that you haven't gone bad, back to the bad life, or that it's kind of worked out for you.
I survived.
Yeah.
I'm alive. A lot of God bless.
The 1.2. Yeah, when you said you looked in the mirror every day.
I tell a lot of people when I do interviews, I got my punishment. You don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about me. I deserve what I got. And I got way more than I thought I would get.
I like the part where you said when you looked in the mirror every day, just to make sure you were the same man.
Who am I?
Yeah, like to make sure you weren't turning into. Like,
I did. Yeah, you have to remind yourself, man, what happened?
A monster.
Who am I?
Yeah.
I did that a lot. I had to look in the mirror, make sure I'm Travis Waters, and you're still a normal human being.
Well, does time go really slow when you're in jail? Like, I think it would just kind of like seem like a day would seem like a month, kind of.
After a while, though, you get institutionalized. You really do. Because when I came home, remember, I was scared.
Yeah. Paranoid.
I was like, I thought I need to go back to the center. I was like, you're scared. You're so institutionalized, and you're afraid you're doing something wrong. And I didn't want to be around people. I wouldn't go to the mall. I'd stay out in the car when my mom went to the mall and stuff. I couldn't do it.
Did you ever feel too after you got out of prison that there might have been still some Colombians that wanted you dead, or somebody who worked for Juan?
No, because I get asked that a lot. No, because a lot of them are dead, and a lot of them were already snitching on me to begin with. They already told on me.
It was crazy when you said that. Everybody was snitching on everybody.
I was the one. I got more time than everyone, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I wasn't telling everybody, and they were all in there telling on me, and I'm in there telling them no.
With your cousin too. It was your cousin, right? That you wasn't
snitching on. Then I backed out of all that, and I said, "You guys aren't going to give me any deals. I'm not talking on nobody. I'm done. I'm done.
That's
Send
cool,
me back.
man. Like that
if you
shows.
want to give me like 40 more years, give me 40 more years.
Yeah, that was really honorable.
Yeah, a lot of willpower, a lot of honor. That's awesome, man.
I had 23 years total.
But that's why I'm saying, like, I look at it, I'm like, man, you're such a capable guy. Like, all those years just wasted all because you fucked up in school, and you were like, well, that's it.
But
I'm gonna go.
You were headstrong. You were doing. I think everybody kind of has to learn something the hard way.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was thinking too. Like, you did learn a lesson about
that was the hardest way you can learn something.
You probably don't give up anymore.
Well, also too, when you said after you came out, like I thought, okay, you got out of jail, everything's gonna be cool, and then you said somebody stole your identity.
Oh, right.
A kid, I went to go get my driver's license to drive, and they told me my license was suspended. I said, what are you talking about? It's like it was one thing after another, It's like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. So I was away, and this guy used and this is a kid I grew up with. I knew him. He used my identity because they actually thought I was dead. Because once he started using my identity, I had warrants for my arrest in Texas.
That's what I thought.
I was in prison. Yeah, and so I'm telling the lady at the DMV that, my license is not suspended. She goes, well, have you ever seen your record? I go, what are you talking about? I know what I've done, a couple things.
Yeah.
She showed me the screen, and it had like all these arrests and probation violations and burglaries and all. I go, listen, that's not me. She goes, how do you know that's not? I go, that's not me. I go, I was in prison from 1991 to 1997. I know that's not me. She goes, oh, really? Yeah, he would have the numbers under his chin taking photos with the police department.
I'm surprised it didn't cost you any more time. Like, I'm surprised with him doing that, it didn't make your sentence any longer.
Oh, I know. Well, it would have never stuck. But yeah, like I couldn't drive or nothing. I had to wait months and months for the judge to clear all that stuff because I was actually everything was suspended on me.
That's crazy, dude.
So that was just another obstacle I had to deal with.
Yeah. I like too. You brought up the one guy. Who was that? Big Daddy?
Hog Daddy.
Hog Daddy.
Hog Daddy.
When you took that, I forget. When you kept repressing, when you started repressing the press, for the coke, that was really cool.
That was cool.
Like,
yeah, Yeah, the feds wanted that.
Yeah, I know. I remember reading that, and I'm like,
that scene where they raided your house was crazy too, man. Like you saw them jump the fence, like.
I still can't believe that after like you first got approached by the feds and they're like, "We're watching you." You're like, I'm just gonna keep selling drugs. I'm fucked already. I might as well just keep doing it.
You kind of are.
I was out of control. I think I was out of control. I think we were taking over the world or something. I think I was so revengeful too about, to this day I was going to show them. I'm going to show them. Who was I showing? Because I messed up my scholarship to go to college and play ball.
Yeah.
And I think I took it out on, like I was showing them. To this day, I don't know who them are. Who are they?
Yeah.
I'm going to show them. I'm going to show. Who was I showing?
What it was is you failed yourself, and you were trying to find a way to fix that, and you took the wrong route.
It was just the wrong route. Yeah.
Man.
Who was I going to show?
Yeah.
There was nobody.
Sorry, son.
I was just gonna say, just like the whole beginning part of the book, I loved how you detailed everything that went down during like the smuggling and stuff like that. That was really cool to read, and it was like reading something that you would see in an action movie.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe that, like the guys with the night vision goggles and all the shit that's
being at that house, like surveilling it too,
and,
like through the radio.
Right, that and then just thinking about that and thinking about how. And I hate to say it, but yeah, it's got to feel great being there, being in that moment.
You want to see him like succeed,
being in that rush, and
and
like
I'm not even a writer. I just wrote that.
Good, man.
You just lived that.
Into it.
Yeah, man. You didn't write that. You lived it, and then you wrote it down. That's
right.
It's your story. That's just cool
paper
too.
So you could live it.
Yeah.
Basically, try to convey it to you guys. Because I'm not a writer. I've never been a writer in my life. I just wrote it. I did it.
Do you ever miss smuggling drugs?
I miss a lot of that life. I missed some of that life before, but it's not worth it at the end. Of course, I can't say I didn't miss all the money.
Yeah.
Do you still have any? Did you have any money when you got out? When you got out of prison, did you have any of that money accessible to you?
In fun times, I mean, it wasn't all stress and all that stuff. I mean, there was fun. I had friends and stuff, and and we did things and stuff like that.
When you got out of prison, Travis, was any of the money you had previously had? Did you still have access to it?
No, they took. I even lost the houses in some houses, like I told you, it was in the book.
That
guys took and stuff like that.
I didn't know if you had anything left after that, or if you had to restart over.
They take everything.
Man.
They try to. Depends what you can hide and what you can't keep.
Yeah.
You got to know how to play the game. Wow. And they're really good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Especially the feds.
Yeah, that's what it was, dude.
Yep.
The feds found out he was lying, and then just to fuck with him, he was getting
U.S. Customs, locals.
Yeah, getting transferred from the one prison where they
were
stopped.
After Pablo.
Yeah, yes, they were. Did they ever get him?
Did you notice the gray planes buzzing the boat full of weed? That was the military.
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's
crazy.
Dude, I asked, the guys told me that when I picked them up, the captains, they said the gray plane buzzing the boat. I go, what?
That was crazy. That the guy you were working for, Juan was his name, right? I think Juan, the kingpin you were working for, he fucked you over in that last smuggling run too, because they didn't tell you that inside the bales of weed were cocaine, and they just
no, they did. I found that out. Yeah. And
you found out.
We charged them for marijuana.
You found out more when you went to prison too about what really happened.
Yeah, I found
out
more. Yes, I did. I sure did. Yeah. And the CIA and the feds, how they, we just happened to be getting into the circle when they were already after these guys. They were all, and a lot of those guys, like I said, I found a lot of those guys were already informants and stuff too behind the scenes. You know what I mean? It was all there. It's all give or take. You know what I mean?
You were fucked the second you stepped in there. Like they already had you. They were just like, oh, here's another guy we got.
Well, they used us to get. They wanted us to get the Pablo and those guys. That's what they were after.
Did they ever?
The circle we got involved in was just the circle that they were after those guys.
Did they ever get Pablo? I don't know.
Not on ours, they didn't, but they killed him eventually.
He was killed. Yeah,
they were after him. There was all kind of circles trying to get him.
Yeah.
Like you watch that movie Infiltrator, the same thing with the laundering money. They were after him that way, trying to get into a circle.
Pete, our third mic, the intern here, Lamborghini, had actually told me recently that the when they did get Pablo, you said like the
Escobar?
director.
Yeah.
You said the director of the FBI stepped down.
Yeah, I heard he had just like quit or something because he didn't think it was like
Worth it.
He thought the war on drugs was like a failure. He basically said someone else is going to rise up. And,
there's all kind of other cartels. It's never ending. One man down, the other one steps up.
El
It's
Chapo.
like that with everything.
Travis, we have to wrap this up, dude.
Do we?
But it was great talking to you, dude. And where can everybody find your book?
Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, WestcoastKid.com, Mascot Books. It's anywhere online retailers sell books. You can go in any bookstore and they can order it for you. West Coast Kid, My Redemption. My website's the WestCoastKid.com.
Awesome. Dude.
We got to do this again sometime.
Yeah,
I still have
dude.
so much to ask you.
After
so
the
many
movie.
questions.
After the movie.
After the movie. Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
I can't wait, man.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Have a great
All
night.
right, take care.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See you, dude.
That's the
Such a
Westcoast
good
Kids,
book.
guys.
West
You
Coast
gotta
Kid.
read it. It is amazing. There's just so much
WestCoastKid.com.
in there, and it's real. This is real shit. Like this was like Breaking Bad for real.
I go into work and I was like, dude, I just read this chapter in the book where this, and
every
that
day.
happened. And like other people, like you said, my buddy Jay, he'd be doing something else. I'd be
And
telling my
he'd
buddy
just-
Andrew, and Jay would come over to listen. Like,
that was
about
the same thing. Like I'd be telling Christian, and everybody in the break room would turn around and start listening, and it was like, And I did it for weeks. I would talk about that.
Right.
All right, guys, we're going on break. We got Sauce up next.
No. Or yes.
Yeah, I think it's Sauce next,
Yeah.
and then Juliet. All right. Stay tuned. We'll be back.